Hello everyone, welcome to Open Mind Alexander Technique. I'm Jess, and this is Stan. His name is Stan because he's our standard model skeleton, and that's exactly my brand of humor. So today we're going to use Stan as a visual tool to look at your head and your neck. Now, in the Alexander world, you could spend an entire YouTube channel just on the head and the neck. So this will be very brief. My intention here is just to give an overview of how the head and the neck work and being able to find on you where is the top of your neck. So one challenge I always give my students when they come in, whether they're musicians or private practice students, I ask everyone, I would like you to point on yourself. Where does your head connect to your neck? Go ahead and try it. Where do you think your head connects to your neck? And by that I mean, where is your actual top vertebra in your spine? Where does the skull actually sit on neck bone? A lot of people point here. And then I say, okay, let's look at it on Stan. This right here is about here. It's not where your spine is. That's just not where the top of your neck goes. We often think of the head and the neck as being sort of a hinge, as if there was a hinge at the back of the skull here. But if you look on Stan, it's not where it is. It's in the middle. So here's how to find yours. This little hole right there, right behind the jaw, is your ear canal. Your neck is right there. So if you put your finger just a little down and back from your actual ear canal so that you can still hear me, and do some tiny little nods, very, very small nods, that's actually the only movement your head can do. Even side to side, that's between your first and your second vertebrae. So your first vertebrae, which is called your first cervical vertebrae, you can hear it referred to as C1. It's also called the atlas because it holds up the globe of your head. C1 and C2, the one under it, also called axis, are shaped differently than any of your other vertebrae. C1, the one that actually rests, the one that your head rests on, has two little cups on the very top of it. And your skull has two corresponding little rocking chairs that sit right in it. So, if we move Stan a little bit, it's right there. So you've got your two little cups, and then on top of that are two rocking chairs in your skull, and that's what gives you that rocking motion. So, why is this important and who cares? If you're going about your movement thinking that your neck ends way back here, you're going to introduce a lot of extra neck tension into your day. So go ahead and give this a try. If you're a person that can stand up and sit down without too much trouble, give this a try getting in and out of a chair. If it's helpful for you to keep your hands up just a little bit down and back from your ear canal to remind you where that is, give it a try. What happens? What changes in your movement? How does it feel? What do you notice about yourself as you get in and out of a chair, knowing where the top of your spine actually is? And what happens if you allow mentally your back and your spine to go up to your ears? Everything ears and up is head. Everything ears and down is neck. And we can ask our necks to do less. We can allow our heads to find their own balance on top of the spine. As you can see on Stan, the front of your skull has a whole lot more bone than the back of your skull, and that changes the weight and the balance distribution. So the muscles on this side structurally want to be longer than the muscles on this side. So if you're trying to pull your face up, it's not going to work too well. We'll talk about that a lot more in a video on Muscles 101, how do muscles work, but from now, this idea of where is the head and the neck, how does it work, why is it important? Your neck ends between your ears, and it's directly in the center behind your nose. So, between your ears and behind your nose is one of the most important locations in your whole body, because your brainstem goes through there. So this is where all of the coordinating center for your movement comes from, right? We have a movement control center in our brain, and all of that coordinating information comes down through that area. One of the things that Alexander Technique has figured out consistently over thousands and thousands of people is what we do up here has a huge impact on what happens with the rest of you. Heads are pretty heavy, about 11 pounds on average in an adult, and it's a bowling ball on the end of a flexible stick. So, bowling ball, stick. If that gets off balance too far, you're going to spend extra muscular effort and energy and muscle tension in holding the stupid thing in place, rather than, I know how I'm structured. I can keep my spine well integrated all the way up to the level of my ears where it actually ends. And then I'm relying on my skeleton to hold me up, and less so on my muscles. Now, if you are a person who cannot easily get in and out of a chair to play around with, where is my balance of my head on my neck, I encourage you to try it sitting down, or as much as you can, lying down and asking for your neck to do less, asking the neck to be free, asking your head to have that soft nestled connection on its rocking chairs between the skull and your neck. And see what happens. See if you can do tiny little nods while sitting, while lying down. Do some little movement explorations. For now, what I would like you to remember from this, your neck goes up to your ears.